Hey, this is John, and today we're looking at a little wireless microphone system for doing video like we're doing right now. Right now you're hearing me on the camcorder's built-in mic, nothing fancy. But what we're looking at here is from ZGCINE, I believe is how it's spelled, or pronounced, ZG, and we'll put an I in there, ZGCINE. But this is the Atom receiver and transmitter. These two little devices will allow me to put one in my pocket with a lapel mic, this is all included in what we're looking at right here. And we're going to kind of go through what it's all here. The receiver has a little clip, so it can be clipped onto, say on that camcorder, it could be clipped onto the handle, or it looks like it's the right size for the cold shoe. And we're going to try all of this and go through everything, but I wanted to literally do this with you for the first time. The only thing I've done is open it up and charge those. Now to look at these a little more in depth, I'm going to actually come around on the table to show you the actual units themselves. And then we'll look at more of the things in the box here. If the cold shoe, there is a cold shoe mount here, so if that doesn't work, which it's the exact same size as a cold shoe mount, but you can slide this on. Oops, you got to go the right direction. And then you've got this for a cold shoe mount. So you could use this if you had to, the clip, otherwise you've got the mount. There is a little mount for having it for the cell phone, and then you can use the cold shoe mount here to hold this so you can have it on for your cell phone, I guess, actually. And there's a couple of different spots for the tripod. Included is a little tripod, so you can set it on your table. I'm kind of low on my table here. So you can set it there if you need to, so that's kind of a neat little thing. The lapel mic is here, and it has a little windscreen with it. Then we have a little cable, which is a tip ring sleeve, which is your standard 1/8 inch jack, 3.5 millimeter for headphones that you have, to a tip ring sleeve, which is the one that many cell phones use. Apple not anymore, but the other ones. Then you have two USB charging cables. It is USB-C. It's the new USB-C, or the newer one. regular USB on the other side, the old one. And then we have another cable in here. This is tip ring sleeve to tip ring sleeve. So you have one for cell phone, one for camcorder, which this one will need on a camcorder. And then we have a little windscreen that will attach to the transmitter, which has a microphone built right in. We'll look at the transmitter and receiver in just a second. And finally, beyond instructions, we've got two windscreens here, it looks like. Yes, two windscreens. They would be the little furry things that they have there. Okay, that's what's in the box. Let's take a closer look. I'm going to bring these over to you to look at the transmitter and the receiver. So first off, we'll look at the transmitter. On the end of it, we have a microphone that is built in. So I could clip this on and let that microphone be the pickup. If I'm in a windy situation, I grab that little windscreen, I can put it right on there, and I'm good to go. The second is where we're going to plug in our lapel mic, and that's what I'm actually going to be using. And you can see it's got a little tiny picture of a microphone there, and the windscreen goes locking on and off. On the side, there's our USB-C charging port, and again, these are charged up. Then on the other side, I'm not sure which way this is, probably up. There we go. We have our power, we have a mute, and then we have our link, our syncing button right there on the transmitter. Then on the receiver, we have our monitor out, so we can put our headphones here and listen to what's going on. We have our power, we have volume up and down. And then on the other side, we have this little spot is going to feed the camcorder. And then we have our charging port. So we have our camcorder and we have our headphone. One of the things we're gonna find out is if the volume controls both or if it just controls the headphones. We'll see in just a second. So now to pair, it says all we really need to do is just really to start them together. So let's give that a shot. And what should happen is there's a little LED right on the top here. And once they're paired, they should be flashing blue and red as they're trying to sync. And then once they're paired, I believe, then we go to solid blue. So let's start these up. There, we're solid blue right now. Well, that means they might be paired. They might be in sync. So let's just do this. I'm going to mute this one. So it's flashing blue, so this one's muted. I'm going to attach this one to the camcorder, and then we're going to take off from that point and see what it does. Again, I need the cable that is a tip ring sleeve. These are sealed. So this will be my cable, and I'm going to try to slide it into that hot shoe without having to, or the cold shoe actually on this camcorder. I'm going to try to do that without any adapters. Just slide this right into that little cold shoe on the camera. Okay, in my older camera, it would have worked fine. This particular camera, the shoe is a little bit recessed, so I'm going to need to use this little adapter extender to get it down in there. I could probably force it, but I don't want to, so I'm just going to use this. And then that will allow me to turn it around and make sure that I have this rounded towards the front, not a big deal, but more importantly, it has the little monitoring towards the back of the camcorder. Okay, I think we're back. So there's a couple of things. I got it hooked into the camera, and I had the camera, this is a Sony that we're using, Sony camcorder, and I had it set for auto mic gain, and we had a lot of hiss. So it was, as I looked at it, I went to manual, and it was really close to like 90% of the mic gain. It was that high. So I backed the mic gain down. I went to manual mode, backed the mic gain down to approximately maybe 30%, somewhere in that ballpark. And that took the hiss down, just kind of like a gain structure thing. And then I was able to adjust the volume and such on the side of the receiver. Now the volume on the receiver adjusts both the headset volume, the monitor volume, and it adjusts what goes to the camcorder, because I checked back and forth, so it does that. Right now you're hearing me just using the little device. So there's nothing, I'm literally just holding it. So, but I want to say, if I wanted to do this, to give you an idea, if I did something like this, and this is hands-free doing that, and if I move around, wiggle back and forth, obviously if I have shirt and tie and a jacket, it could rub on some things, but this gives you an idea of what kind of a noise it makes while it's on and you're moving a little bit. If you hear any of the creaks and groans, that's probably an old person's body, not the device. So we have that. Now let's put the lapel mic on it that's included and take a listen to how that will sound. The way I'm going to do that is first I'm going to disconnect from me, and then I'm going to mute, plug it in, and we'll turn it back on. And to mute is just as simple as you can feel the three little bumps on the side, and you can hit the button and watch this little blue go from a solid blue to a flashing blue. Here we'll do it right. We'll do it this way. We're going to do it right. Okay, so we're using the lapel mic. So this is strictly a transmitter. I can put this anywhere I want. And you're definitely going to hear a difference in sound quality. Seem to have a little richer sound using just the little Atom transmitter than to use the lapel. Although the lapel can be nice because I can put the transmitter in my pocket, and if I tuck the wire in or have it under my coat, it could be a little less conspicuous than having that larger unit up on my collar somewhere. Again, there's a sound quality difference between the two. It still sounds really good from what I was hearing in the preview, so I'm pretty impressed with that. And it's an all-in-one. Battery life. You charge it up with USB-C connections that are included right here, which I didn't open up because I have cables that I use for that. You have up to 6 hours. Realistically, let's give it 4 hours. Not because of the battery, but just because I like to be sure that I have something covered. So I would trust it for 4 hours, and then beyond that, I'd probably make plans to charge it again. You could get up to 6 hours, and that's great, but I'm guessing as you have distances and you start to maybe have distances where it's dropping out, that's going to affect battery life. And if there's a lot of different things that interfere, that could affect battery life. It's kind of unknown, and I like to be certain about the success of a product when I'm using it. So I'm really happy with, though, the sound quality. I'm pretty impressed with it, and I'm going to be using that for a couple more videos. I'll put a link in the description below, but this is, again, let me try to get you the company name. It's ZGCINE, I'm going to say, ZGCINE, Z-G-C-I-N-E. This is the Atom wireless microphone system for camcorders or cell phones. It'll work with Droid, it'll work with the proper adapter, it'll work with your iPhone. And again, the little unit sounds pretty good, and at a price point that's not going to break the bank. This is John Young. Thank you for watching.